In this video, I'll be teaching you how to get massive arms. And these are my credentials. As you can see before, I was super skinny, very stick-like arms. And I was actually working out at this period, clearly had no idea what I was doing. And now my arms have gotten a lot bigger, you can see. And they've grown like an absolute weed. And fun fact, I was never even trying to get big arms. Okay, so when I started working out, I just wanted the big chest. I wanted the big back, I wanted the big shoulders. I honestly didn't care too much about arms, but somehow they just freaking blew up. They've been growing really fast recently, and I've gotten stretch marks, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you can see that, but over the last couple months, I got stretch marks because they've just been growing like a weed. So I kind of wondered to myself, why are my arms getting so big? So I've dissected my training and everything I've done to explain how my arms got so big. So if you want the same problem as me, having arms that are slightly too big for their physique, which is probably the best problem to have, then yeah, keep watching. So step one, I only did like 3 exercises. All right, I didn't do a million different arm exercises. None of this stuff. You don't need all that. You just need 3 to 4, maybe even 2 like main money exercises that get you the most bang for your buck. And you want to focus on these exercises like crazy. Don't do a million different exercises. So yeah, you just want to pick those few exercises that are the best exercises, and you just want to spam them. And so you might wonder, how do you go about picking those exercises? And it's quite simple. You want to pick exercises with the best stretch. And this has been proven in the research. The stretch gets the most hypertrophy. And so you just want to absolutely abuse this. So pick exercises with the best stretch. And I'll give you guys the source. These were my main exercises. So for biceps, we literally just had incline bicep curls, all right? And that was it. I didn't do hammer curls, spider curls, banded curls, cable curls. I just stuck with this. Sometimes I'd switch it out for preacher curls if I got bored. But my number one exercise that I spammed was incline bicep curls. And that's what grew my biceps quite a bit. And for triceps, it was overhead tricep extensions and a little bit of push downs. So overhead tricep extensions was the main money maker. This was the thing that I can attribute most of my tricep growth to, and they've grown a lot. My triceps actually used to be my worst body part, and now they are up there as one of the best. And the tricep push down, this was kind of like a secondary exercise. I don't really have to like put it in here. I can attribute most of the gains to just these two. But yeah, as you can see, these two have the best stretch. With the incline bicep curl, your elbows are back, you're getting a massive bicep stretch. And with the overhead tricep extension, your elbows are up overhead, and so you're getting a massive tricep stretch. If you don't want to do these, at least do exercises with a similar kind of stretch profile. So yeah, pick some really good exercises with a good stretch and just spam them. You don't have to worry about doing a ton of different ones. You just want to focus on the main ones that get you the most bang for your buck. All right, so step 2, balls to the wall intensity. So we don't want to be doing any of this reps in reserve. We don't want that. No. So with arms, I train every set to failure. Every single set. I don't leave reps in reserve. Don't do that. Take your sets to failure because they are a small muscle group. You don't have to leave reps in reserve. And on my final exercises, I would do intensity techniques. So I would go past failure and do things like drop sets, myo rep sets. I would do lengthened partials, things like that. And training to balls to the wall intensity. You don't exactly have to look like Tom Platz when you're training, but you just want to take your sets to failure and don't leave anything in the tank. So for example, on my incline bicep curls, once I hit failure on these, I sit up and I get into like an upright position. I don't even know what I'm drawing there, but yeah, I sit up and I start doing regular dumbbell curls, and that's kind of like a mechanical drop set. It adds some more intensity. For overhead tricep extensions, I will drop set these, so I'll lower the weight and then just keep going. So yeah, balls to the wall intensity, train your guts out, and yeah, don't leave reps in reserve. All right, just train as hard as you can. Step 3, I got hella stronger. So we have this graph here, definitely super scientifically proven graph. My lifts and arm size. So if you can get stronger, your arm size will go up. This might be a kind of obvious thing, but it's very important to keep in mind. If your curls aren't going up, if your push downs aren't going up, if your extensions aren't going up, then your arm size probably isn't going up. So it's very, very closely correlated how much weight you're doing and how much your arms will grow. And the thing is, it's kind of hard for arms, but we need to suck it up. And the reason it's harder for arms is because it's a much smaller muscle group, so it's harder to progress. For example, if we're benching and we go from 100 kilos to 105 kilos, that's a 5% increase. But if we're doing curls and we're going from 10 kilos to 12 kilos, that is a 20% increase. So it's much harder to increase because we don't have incremental dumbbells. Like we don't have 10.5 kilo dumbbells to increase. We only have like 2 kilos, maybe 1 kilo at best increments. And so it's a bit harder to progress on these as compared to bigger compound movements. But we need to suck it up and try to improve as much as possible anyway, because small improvements do add up. And that's why even if it takes me a few weeks to add, let's say 2 kilos to my tricep pushdown, I'll be super happy with that. Over time, if we keep adding those 2 kilos every few weeks, then we are going to be lifting a lot more, and thus our arms are going to be a lot more. And as you can see here, this wasn't actually too long ago. I was doing small weight and I had pretty small arms. And then now I'm doing a lot more weight. These are different exercises. Sorry, I couldn't get the same one. But I'm doing a lot more weight and my arms are bigger. So small weight, small arms, big weight, big arms. So you want to prioritize progressive overload as much as possible. I think I've pretty much doubled the weight on every single one of my arm exercises, and that's led to insane growth, as you can see. Step 4, I bulked. So I was eating in a calorie surplus, and this is kind of pretty necessary because you won't get huge arms in a deficit and you need calories to let your body build. So if you want to put on as much size on your arms as possible, then you have to eat in calorie surplus. You have to bulk, and it doesn't have to be a huge bulk. You don't have to go crazy like Jay Cutler is in this picture, but you should at least be eating at maintenance, and if you can, in a calorie surplus. If you want to get leaner but you want to get bigger arms, kind of have to pick which one you want to prioritize more. But yeah, if you want bigger arms, then you need to eat in a surplus, because the surplus will fuel recovery. It'll let your body actually build, and without a surplus, even the most optimized training in the world will not get you your biggest arms. And I'll make another super scientific graph for you guys again. So let's say this is my weight, and let's say this is my arm size. As I gained weight and as the scale went up and as I got bigger, my arms got bigger. Pretty much directly correlated. The more I bulked and the more I gained, the bigger my arms got. Now, you don't want to take this too far. You don't want to get fat. Obviously, weight isn't 100% muscle, so if you're gaining weight, it's not guaranteed that it's going to be muscle mass. It could be fat. But for me, the more weight I put on and the more I bulked, the bigger my arms got and the stronger they got. And yeah. And step 5, this is kind of like a black pill thing. It's genetics. And this isn't really a step because you can't really do anything about it, but it is still important. You will see here, this is Phil Heath, freaking former Mr. Olympia. And on the left, this guy, he didn't even train. He literally just played basketball. He didn't even lift. You can see that he has a better physique than most people who go to the gym religiously, even though he wasn't even lifting. And obviously that translated into freaking winning the Mr. Olympia and looking absolutely insane. And then we have over here Jack's Fitz. So obviously this is not the greatest genetics. Started off very skinny, still very skinny. But yeah, no matter how much he does, no matter how much gear he blasts, he will never achieve what Phil Heath will achieve, purely because of genetics. I'm pretty sure in the picture on the right, he's actually on MK, so not even natural. This guy's not even natural, and yeah. So genetics, super important, right? I'll tell you why, because if you have bad genetics, you can actually still make up for it. And I have a few things. So I don't do these personally because I'm not trying to grow my arms anymore. I think they're grown enough. But I've heard that these things are super useful for guys that have stubborn arms that won't grow. Because some people just have more stubborn arms than others, and some people just grow easier than others. If I was below average, I would do these things. So number 1 is have an arm day. With most splits, like upper lower, push-pull legs, naturally you'll be doing your bigger muscle groups first, like benching or rows, and those will hit your big muscle groups like your chest and back. And as a byproduct, we will do our arm training after, more at the end of the workout towards the tail end. And this, unfortunately, depletes our energy and we're not as fresh when we're hitting arms. So the way to fix this is to have a dedicated arm day. So just have one day in your split where you're just training arms and you're prioritizing arms, so you can hit them when they're fresh, hit them when they're at their strongest, and you can really prioritize them. Number two, if you have stubborn arm genetics, increase your volume. So provided that you're training with utmost intensity and you still aren't seeing your arms grow, then I would advise to increase your volume. So if you're only doing, let's say, 4 sets, then try bump it up to 5 or 6. Just add some more volume, and provided you're still training intense, your arms will get bigger. Number 3 tip, if you have bad arm genetics, adjust your form on compounds. So this is actually an underrated thing that I don't see many people talking about. So for example, if you have a wider grip on the bench press, like this guy, then you'll be primarily hitting more chest, and you can see his arms are pretty small. I'm just kidding, no hate to this guy. But if you do have a wider grip on bench press, you'll be hitting more of your chest and less of your triceps. But if you switch that over and go to a narrower grip, so you can see here he has a much narrower grip, you'll be hitting a lot more triceps. So simply by making that small change, wide to narrow, you'll be hitting your triceps a lot more effectively. The same thing with pull-ups, alright? If you usually go overhand grip with pull-ups, if you simply just switch to an underhand chin-up grip, then you'll hit your biceps a lot more. And I think this is super underrated. If you want to hit your arms more, then literally just bias them more in your compound lifts. But yeah, other than that, if you have more stubborn arm genetics, then it'll take you a little bit longer, but you'll still get there, right? I don't really know if I have good arm genetics or bad arm genetics, because you can see that I didn't really have the best arms before, but now I have pretty decent arms. But yeah, you will get there, as you can see from my transformation. It is very possible. So step 6, get a good program. So this is a shameless plug. I do have programs available, so if you are interested, it is the link in the description. And I'm selling these programs in a complete package, so you get every single program that I've made, ranging from upper lower push-pull legs to hybrid splits to full body splits, beginner, intermediate, advanced, literally everything. So there will definitely be something in there for you. And right now I'm selling the entire thing, every single program, for $20. Not $20 each, $20 for like more than 10 programs. And I'm not going to be doing this for long because I'm actually planning to do something much bigger than this. But yeah, if you want, you can click the link in the description and you will get access to literally all of my programs. And these are super detailed programs, and it'll come with an exercise tutorial library. So I've made exercise tutorial videos for the exercises in the program. So if you don't know how to do it, then these videos will teach you how to do it. And once I build out like the course and everything, this will come with that at a much higher price point. So if you want to just get the programs for super cheap right now, $20, then you can. And if you want something even better, I do one-to-one coaching. So you can apply for one-to-one coaching in the link below. And I'll basically make a fully customized program for you. I'll make sure that you're progressing each week. I'll do weekly calls with you. I'll pretty much do everything in my power to get you as jacked as possible and aesthetic as possible and look like freaking Jeff Seed over here. But I digress. If you like the video, then give it a like and subscribe if you want more educational fitness content like this. And yeah, to recap, don't do a million different exercises. Just pick a few really good ones and spam them. Train super intense, balls to the walls intensity. Get stronger, prioritize progressive overload, and make sure you're increasing your weight gradually over time. Don't be in a cut and expect to get massive arms. And if you have bad genetics, then do these things to make up for it. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.